and United Kingdom. I take this opportunity to welcome you all for this international webinar in association with Association of Chartered Certified Accountants, United Kingdom and International Skill Development Corporation. At the outset, I would like to thank all the office bearers of these two esteemed institutions and welcome all of them. Now, I would like to introduce and welcome today's team speaker, Nidhi Singh. She is a qualified accountant and member of following global bodies: Chartered Institute of Investment and Security UK, Association of Chartered Certified Accountants UK, Institute of Public Accountants Australia, Institute of Director and Mentor Judge in National Entrepreneurship Network, board member of EDIIC. Nitish is a researcher in the area of private equity and Indian economics. He has mastery over subjects covering technology, finance accounting, business strategy, and management. He also held various senior leadership positions such as director and vice president in investment banking and finance services companies such as JP Morgan, State Street, Citibank, and SS&C Globe Op in India, Ireland, and UK. Nitish has following work experience, managed end-to-end accounting, valuation and financial reporting team, handling the operations of assets and under the management in excess of US 40 billion. Expertise in audit, IFRS, US and Indian GAAP, private equity, hedge fund, fintech, robotic process, automation, applied artificial intelligence, machine learning in finance service, lead transformation and change management process with the strategic mandate to develop a new business application and improve existing banking process. Sir, on behalf of Seshadripuram Education Trust, I wholeheartedly welcome you for this international webinar.
Thank you so much,
Thank you,
Professor
sir, for
Desh,
welcoming
and
all.
for the
On
welcome.
behalf of all,
I welcome all the office bearers and trustees of Seshadripuram Education Trust and all the principals of our sister institutions, other heads of the institution, and all the participants who have registered across the globe. Now, I welcome Rajat BS, Head Department of Commerce, Harsha R, Program Coordinator, and Sunil Kumar G, Coordinator IQAC. And finally, I welcome our own teaching and administrative faculties to this webinar. Thank you, one and all.
thank you, sir, for welcoming all. On behalf of all, I would also like to welcome our beloved principal to this international webinar.
Thank you, sir.
Now, I request Nidhish sir, who is ACCA, CISI, MIOD, MIPA qualified, and a Vice President and Head of Transformation, JP Morgan Chase and Company, to enlighten us on the topic, Future of Finance and Accountancy Career. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Harsh. So while we talk about the future of finance and accounting, the question comes to the head because why we are suddenly talking about the future of career in accounting and finance. It has been great, right? In last couple of decades, chartered accountants or accounting professionals, finance professionals have always had a great career. So nowadays, we often see there is a discussion on the future in accounting and finance. So the main cause for restarting this discussion is that we are now entering into a new era. And that's what everyone needs to realize, that what has been working in last 50 years will not work anymore because the entire scenario is changing. So if I go to the job nowadays every morning, often it seems that I'm joining a new job. Every day when I log into my system, it appears I'm joining a new job and there would be certain emails to revamp the process or change the way we have been working, or a new technology is required, or the client is pushing for a different way of doing things. Isn't that quite surprising? Because I already had 15, 16 years of career in the past, and still every day I'm challenged to think in a new way. And probably I have to upskill and learn some new skill on a regular basis. So to many, it could be scary as well, but I'm going to tell you that why it is a very good situation. If we adapt and adopt the changes which is coming our way. So we are entering into the era of Industrial Revolution 4.0 or 4.0 popularly called. The symptom or the changes that it will bring is that the skill set that we have acquired in 5 years, in last 5 years, may not be relevant. Probably every 2 years we need to learn new skill and apply that into the workplace. That will be the future jobs in accounting and finance. The automation which is taking place, and I'm especially kind of given the responsibility to automate, improvise the platform and the technology of large bank. So I do see that clients are extremely demanding. That's one reason for the changes. Secondly, we also see that accounting skills and finance are ever changing. So new financial products are being launched. We need to learn and upgrade ourselves, apply that into the workplace. And this is the way of the future accounting and finance jobs. What does that mean for the freshers? It means that if you are graduating today from the college, if you are doing BCom, BBA, any such qualification, or you go on to do accounting courses like ACC, etc., it is not that on the basis of one qualification you will be able to continue forever in the job. That used to happen earlier. Once you pass out of the college, done. You get the job, peace of mind, and you have won the bread and butter for the life. This is no more the situation. Now, jobs are being automated. So World Economic Forum itself has said that 25% of the GDP, world GDP, will come from artificial intelligence and automation by 2025. And it is not too far, just 5 years. That 25% of the world economy will be all automated. Does that mean that we are going to lose our job? So there are many fear and apprehension about that as well, that are accountant and finance professional not needed in the future? Many people think so, but here is my explanation, and I don't think that it is a bad news for accountant and finance, though there are some matter of caution. We need to upgrade ourselves. So as an accountant and finance professional, you need to understand what is the scope of automation, how you can improvise the process, thinking in terms of business process re-engineering. If your department has 10 steps before the payment is made to the vendor, how can you reduce 3 steps? And think creatively, like a child look at any problem. Like if you give any toy to the child, it will break it down, break it from 10 into 10 different pieces, and we'll try to reassemble it, and we'll see what comes up. So have that kind of curiosity when it comes to standard process and steps. Only then you will be able to add value, reduce some of the redundant steps, some of the wastage of the step, and make the process smarter. That is the essence of modern automation. It is not a rocket science or anything else. You need to use your skill that you are learning now in school and colleges or in any qualification and make things smarter. Of course, that will also need time. And that's where automation, robotics, some of the macro Excel formula will help you, because these automation are going to cut down the time where you are just punching the data or collating all the invoice numbers and adding the GST data, etc. into a file. Those things will be gone. So automation is not going to take away your job where you add value. It is only going to take away things which does not add value. You have to just do manual work, non-value adding tasks, repetitive things, boring work that often we do at the start of the career. That is going to be taken away. What accountants are required to do now? Accountants and finance professionals need to think creatively, provide analytics and pattern of the from the data, and tell their finance manager, financial controllers, the CFO and the CEO, directors, that what the data means. We are in the age of the data. Data is the new oil. So as an accountant, you need to synthesize and tell how you can make sense out of the data and design new product or finance new products. So this kind of creative thinking, analytical thinking is going to be required more and more from you, because their AI softwares and the automation cannot compete with you. So that's where you need to develop a skill set. Now, the second thing is, as I said, every day when I log in, I find a new job waiting for me or new kind of challenges. So the roles and responsibility are going to be project driven. Full-time jobs will start to reduce in future. There will be at least 25% reduction in the full-time roles. But it doesn't mean that on net basis, the job market will shrink. No. And that's where I'm telling you the good news is that job market is not going to shrink, it is going to change. There will not be mass redundancy. It is just a different type of you required. A different type of accountants are required with a different skill set, mindset, and personality. So you need to have a different project management kind of mindset, where you are working on 3 months project for one team, another 3 months project for another team, or maybe another company. That also means that accountants are not needed on the full-time basis for one particular organization. Maybe there will be a requirement for the geek economy and freelancer. You can work for 2-3 companies simultaneously, offering your services like a consultants. That will be another type of job opening in the market. People will be required to work on a given project based on the expertise and the skill set. If one of you really like tax and also want to work on as a project accountant, you can open your own company and offer your skill set, right? If you still want to work as a full-time employee, nothing going to change drastically just in next few months, but you need to have within the job same mindset like a project manager. There will be short-term assignment in different corners of the organization, and you need to just work on one assignment, make things better, move on. Third thing which is required in the era of automation is, as an accountant, you are not anymore punching and data or doing redundant work, because those are going to be automated. So what you are supposed to do is finding out right data, right information, discuss with your client, your senior management, and push for the need to have a discussion. You need to work with 10 different departments and colleagues in order to complete a given task. You need to develop a client-centric skill set, because that is where the softwares and the macro or Excel formula cannot compete with you. You need to interact with people and develop the good working relationship. That is the very highly valued soft skill by human resource professionals, by senior managements. So there you are safe. There will be also a new type of job which is also opening in the market, that is called financial advisors. And the data says that in next 8 years, as per the International Labour Organizations, there will be almost 16% new jobs in the domain of financial advisory, financial consultants. And you need to advise your client how to invest, how to make the saving, what kind of risk they can take, or what product they should be investing into. So there you need to understand the client's mindset, their risk appetite, their psychological comfort for the investment, and the software and automation which we are afraid of, they will in fact help you to do the right type of data crunching, collect the data, interpret it, and work with the clients. So these types of jobs were not available in the past, which is opening up now. Not to forget, when things are being automated and artificial intelligence is coming, it is saving a lot of cost of the organization, which means it is freeing up the capital. Okay, so let's say instead of 10 people, we need only 7 people to work on a particular department's work. In typical accounting, accounts payable, receivable, or maybe some sort of budgeting, all this could be automated. An organization is going to save 30% of the capital. Where it goes, those capitals are going to be employed in a much more forward-looking projects. Those projects will be much more challenging because it is based on the future scenario and it requires a lot of smart people. Developing analytical skill, creative skill set, ability to work on the larger projects and visualizing the bigger outcomes, that is the skill set that accountants need to develop. So you'd have developed some analytical skill. You are good in number crunching. You understand debit and credits. Those things can be applied for the project that will add value in future. This kind of jobs are being created now. Robo advisors are going to help you, but not going to replace you, provided you continue to learn new things. Recently, I have seen the news that private equity is going to have a lot of capital. It's going to finance a lot of startups. And those new jobs and the organization that is created, they will require financial skill set, which was not available or required earlier. So new doors are being opening by the new investment of the private equity. Now, if the private equity are investing in startups, they will require accountants and the finance professionals. Do we have those jobs in India earlier? No. Not many people are knowing about what private equity is. So any accountant which was trained 25 years ago need to learn these new financial products, understand it, and being able to apply. So that is opening new jobs. So there is a replacement of the jobs, not the complete reduction, right? So that's one of the fear that we see, but it is not really matter of being scared, but we need to just be cautious to develop new skill set. Now, when I talk about there's some accountants and almost 70-80% of us can upgrade ourselves for automation related jobs. And the question that I get is that, does that mean that as an accountant, we need to learn coding or artificial intelligence, automation? Answer is no, we don't need to learn the coding. So I'll tell you what kind of expectation is for you as an accountant becoming the head of AI project. And you can be the head of automation projects without knowing the Python, Anaconda, and all those softwares are C++, etc. The art is to understand that if your competitors have launched a very smart platform for custody or security lending, what kind of process you should bring. If you know that a lot of equities and the securities are deposited with you and your clients on average not going to sell those securities within 6 months, what can you do with them? Maybe you can lend to other clients. And if you need to do that, you need to have a smart software to predict who is going to withdraw next month and also who is going to borrow those security. If you can develop that platform, that will be a great outcome. It will add millions and billions of dollars to your company's revenue. So what you need to do? You need to design the process. You need to construct a step 1, step 2 on a paper, design the process, and go to the desk of head of programming. They will tell you how this can be codified in the programming language. In this situation, you are heading the automation project without doing the coding for that platform. As an accountant, you know the financial product, you know the controls, you know the audit requirements, you know the risk, you know journal entries. So you are the one who can drive the entire discussions, checks and controls the expectations, and the coding team will just execute them, will implement those requirements. In that context, you are still heading a automation project and adding massive value to the organization. So there is kind of a myth that accountant cannot go into those roles, but that is not that is not real. You can develop the skill set to think creatively and find out solutions and drive the really smart projects, AI driven projects. I know many people who have come from the background of HR, admin, accounting, and they're heading this kind of smart technology, automation, AI projects in their respective organizations, and they are big organizations, right? So opportunities are immense in future for accountant and finance professionals. And on the same time, we just need to continuously upgrade ourselves, learn new skill. Only then you will be able to serve to the new market. If your clients are asking for a PIPE, private investment in public equity, this kind of product, and you don't know this, or you don't want to learn this, then it cannot work out. In that case only, you will be replaced by somebody else. If somebody is very rigid in the approach, not willing to learn new things, not willing to work cohesively in the colleagues or with the IT team or with the client, then only you have a real problem. And as a professionals, definitely you're not going to have that. So as long as you have a good soft skill, good communication skill, good personality, ability to mix and work with varieties of people, you're going to have great career. Now the workplace is also becoming global and smaller as well, because you need to collaborate in different time zones, people in different corners of the world, across the culture, across the different value system. That requires a different type of personality. So you need to develop that to succeed in the future of accounting. You need to be able to accept different kind of thinking pattern, different kind of perspective, different kind of value systems, because not everyone is going to be like you, us, and your friends. People will be coming from different corners of the world. They have a different style of working, and you need to be very adaptive. You need to develop a personality like water, which can get mixed with anything, right? So those soft skill, interpersonal skill, ability to think in a creative way, adding value, develop yourself for automation and AI driven projects. That is the future role of accountants. You need to also be flexible to work in the project like situation. Also, if you are enterprising, if you have entrepreneurial mindset, maybe you can have your own startup or your own limited company, which can offer different kind of project-based roles. You can work like a freelancer, and there will be immense market in future for those kind of skill set, and it will give you a very high economic reward as well, because when companies are hiring you for short-term projects to develop new system application, new processes, and get your valuable insight for their company, they will definitely pay much more than we had the market in the past. So entire landscape is changing, and that's why Industrial Revolution 4.0 is going to be exciting, challenging, and much more rewarding than we could have thought earlier. It was not available for accountant professionals who were graduating 25 years ago, but it is there for you. You need to adapt, adopt, and benefit from this. So I would like to leave some room for question and answers as well. If you have any question, we can discuss all this here on the platform rather than just me talking continuously.
Thank you very much, sir, for the insightful address. Now the floor is open for the interaction. We are running out of time. We take up only few questions which we have received in the chat box. Now I request Sunil sir, IQAC coordinator, to moderate the interaction session. Over to you, Sunil sir.
Thank you, sir. Good morning, Nitish sir.
Good morning.
Sir, the first question which I received from one of the faculty in Bangalore. The question is, how should a faculty of a finance and accounting should bridge the gap between the academic and corporate? What kind of skills we need to acquire in coming days to bridge this gap? This is what the question from them.
Yeah. So it's a fantastic question. Is one way we can do that is interacting more with industry. So how to do that is like this kind of sessions whereby we have industry participants and the colleagues from academia. We can share certain challenges in the issues that, which is prevalent in industry. We can discuss how industry is solving some top 3, top 5 issues, and we can organize kind of a roundtable discussions. More and more discussion takes place between industry and academia. More and more industry lectures are placed with the students and in academic place. That will open up the door for roundtable discussion, and we can share the best practices. That is the best thing to use. Plus, there are various white papers and research also published by industry on the issue that is being faced and how it is being solved. Because I have found varieties of automation and the technology related research in terms in the form of the white papers by various consulting firms. Going through that, even I learned loads of new industry practices which I have not seen in my workplace. That is something university professor, lecturers, and academia can also use to learn what is going on in the industry. And we definitely need a good blend. Industry need to learn from academia and vice versa.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Sir, the next question now, as you were explaining that softwares every day in the corporate, one or the other new softwares will be there for the automation, as per your observation, I believe. Uh, Sometimes, as per from the faculty background, we have seen that a number of institutions will be having tie-ups with the companies, and they will be training up with some software related to their companies, only related to the particular company software. So they will be training from the first year to final year of the graduations or post graduation. But here the question is, what kind of accounting softwares are necessary for us to improve the skill? It is from the student side, because every day it is going to be changing in the according to the process. So what is better for students to learn or acquire the knowledge or the skills?
So there are two aspects. One is what kind of skill set to adopt, and then what are the software solutions that we should be learning. I have discussed about the mindset to adopt, like we need to think creatively and see through the entire process and be cognizant where to reduce the steps. Second thing is that how to learn the new software and tools. So some of the standard packages that is always available in the market to learn, of course, some of them are paid as well, like SAP as a ERP. Then another accounting specific software is SAGE, which is very, very popular in the accounting and finance, and especially in the corporate accounting domain. SAGE is quite popular. Apart from this, some of the automation tool I can talk about is which is going to be great for any fresher as well, like Acceptor. Okay, let me just put that in the chat room. Acceptor, Alteryx. These are some of the, or any application which uses OCR technology. Some of these are available on YouTube, free of cost. You can also download maybe 1 week or 1 month free subscription and try to get a hands-on understanding of how it works. Of course, you don't need to go into too much detail because you'll get the on-job training definitely, but just having some bit of idea how it works, that will be good enough. So these are the automation related tools and software that you can learn online, free of cost. Thirdly, I would like to highlight is some of the technology which is used in AI, and anybody without computer science knowledge can do that, is Python, Anaconda, or these softwares. they can be downloaded. There are free link which you can download online. You can learn data science fundamentals and the basics free of cost on YouTube. There are lectures available for 10 to 14 hours, you know, from the best minds in the data science and AI world, free of cost in YouTube. Imagine we are in the era when some million rupees worth of courses are available free of cost on YouTube online. We can learn those things as well, and it will not cost anything except time.
Yes, sir. Thank you. That was really a good input, sir. Because even we feel the same that today we are in the era that where we are accessible for good data in the YouTube if you have an interest towards it.
Right.
Yeah, sir. And the last question.
Mhm.
Sir, this is the fear of our students who's passed out from the final year now, especially, and who is in the final year. They are feeling that. Today things are turning the way the corporates works, it is taking a different version comparatively to the March. And because of this placement and all these things is postponing a little bit, and the opportunities are coming very less comparatively to the March this particular year. So is it's going to be the same thing, or it's going to change according to you, sir? Because you being in a corporate, you know that how it's going to be planned in coming years for the employment opportunity for the students. So can you give an insight about it, sir?
Yeah, what I hypothesize is after March, April, things are going to get massively better. Once it is all about getting the vaccines and pray that the COVID do not launch itself in a new strain. Because in the UK, I'll tell you that since today they are going to restart the lockdown because they have got a new strain of virus. So basically, if that does not cause further havoc, since we are going to get the vaccines, things will start to get normalized by March, April, and then you'll see some good news because the economy has shrunk by almost 30% in last 9 months. Once it will start to expand, it will be also expanding at the same pace, right? So the job requirement will explode massively after March, April, provided that the corona do not launch itself in a new version, right? Because we are going to kind of get a vaccine and cases are reducing in India. So we will see a good bit of vacancy from March, April, and let's hope for the best. So recovery is on the way. All the different economic indicators are showing positive sign. Reserve Bank of India has shown that 60% of its critical indicators are pre-COVID level. That means things are getting better, and we'll see the some relaxation in 2-3 months, and the job market will also recover at a fast pace.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. This is from the interaction section. Arsha, sir, over to you.
So if somebody has any question, want to pick up from the chat room, also you can ask. I see some question on the fintech or the hedge fund, etc. So please feel free to ask those questions.
Sir, so I think if you have a time, that can we take 2 more questions, sir?
Sure, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you. Sir, as per the question from the chat box, that what is the future of hedge funds and fintech and specs in India? What is your view on it, sir?
In the hedge fund, we will see lesser opportunities as compared to the last 5 years, but private equity will have more opportunities. So overall, if we talk about the investment fund related, it will be same as we have seen in the past. It is just the nature of the funds are changing. Hedge fund is not as aggressive as the private equity is right now, and that's why I'm also seeing a lot of more opportunity in private equity as compared to hedge funds. And they are very similar in the nature. It's just that some of the terminology and the calculation of the portfolio and the performance is different. Otherwise, the number of opportunities are going to be the same. When it comes to fintech, we are going to see in let's say next 3 years, we are going to see in next 3 years almost 10 times more opportunity as we have seen in last 5 years. Massive opportunities in the area of fintech. I know many personally, some of the senior leaders in our industry, they have launched various fintech platforms in the domain of investment funds, They are creating employment. They are launching fintech related platforms and the tools. That means the opportunity for fintech is going to be vast. We just need to be ready. We need to have a good control on the accounting and finance skill, plus automation mindset. Some of the tools that I have mentioned here, Alteryx, Acceptor, data science related tools and understanding, and that will do wonders.
Thank you, sir. And the one more question, sir, from the chat box itself, with a little bit of modifications. Sir, a number of times, as per our observation, academic institutions will give a lot of weightages to the certification courses. And when we personally interact with the people who is in the hiring position, they also tell about that the skills and their knowledge related to that particular domain rather than the certification. So can you suggest us that to what extent the certification important, and to what extent the knowledge along with the certification, knowledge and skills is important?
Yeah, so certificate can help you only get to the interview room, right? So that's the maximum thing it can bring. But in the interview room, the question that is going to be asked will be really going into the details. Scenario, they will throw the problems and how would you solve using the knowledge related to that certificate. If you can't solve the problem that is being asked, if you can't elaborate the concept in a very simple way, no, things are not going to move further. So knowledge is critical. Certificate can only bring you to the interview room, right? And that's where I see so many students who go for the modern certification. Basically, I have seen from various vendors. It does not help because you get a certificate for 2-3 months or even 6 months. And the first question I asked that, okay, why future, though it is highly regulated, but is more liquid as compared to forward, and people are not able to answer. Some of the very basics, even after 3 months of the certification, right? So that is one of the sample example. You need to have a deep and a thorough understanding of the concept, be able to explain the basics to somebody, and only then that certificate can add real value. If people are going after just certificate that, okay, I have added 10 certificate on my resume and now I will get the job, unfortunately, that's not how it works. We should be in a position that we learn something and then explain to a 10-year-old kid in a simple way, then understand that your certificate has added value.
Sir, do you also believe that there is other side of the story of this? It's like where a number of students, they will be having the knowledge, but they'll be not having the particular certifications to enter into the corporate. As you said that certification, at least it will help us students to get into the interview room. But whereas a number of students will be having a knowledge, but they fail to communicate that they have that knowledge to enter into that room itself. So that how a corporate will identify, or how we should approach the corporate to identify, to tell that we have a skills more than a certifications?
This is the best question of the day, right? And I was waiting for someone to ask this. It is easier to solve. Okay, if you have the knowledge and you're not getting the opportunity, trust me, it is easier to solve. And I'll give you a couple of tips. So first, if you have the knowledge, showcase it to the world. We are in the age of information technology and the social networking. You can showcase that to the world. Create a YouTube channel, create your own YouTube video, write blogs, connect to people and industry leaders, HR leaders, etc. on LinkedIn, and continuously provide your input to the entire world on your area of expertise. Showcase, provide idea, tips, thoughts, right? And market will start to recognize you. LinkedIn, like platforms, are full of industry leaders and HR professionals. They are looking for people like you, somebody who has the knowledge. And if you have it, showcase, and with time, you will be getting the recognition. That's the way to connect to the industry nowadays. And once you get the interview call, which will not be very difficult if you know how to connect and leverage social media, in the interview, you can crack it with your knowledge.
Sure, sir. That's going to be the one of the great insight. And excuse me, I ask for my principal permission to go for the last question, if he allows me.
Yeah, please proceed.
Sure.
Sir, the last question now. So one of the good question is the chat box which I received just now. It's like students from the graduation, they will be having a 3 years to complete their undergraduation, and till the post graduation, they will be having a 5 years in their hand. So how step by step in each and every year, they have to develop their CVs, and what kind of skills is required to develop step by step, so that by end of the 5th year or the 3rd year, they'll be equipped with the knowledge which is required for the industry to get in.
Yeah. So one thing that you can do, a couple of tips for the CV is, when you build the CV, showcase your social skill set, the extracurricular activity, the project that you have managed, the school events that you have chaired and led. You can mention those as well, and then be ready to talk about what you learned from that. Right. B, just saying that I have a good leadership skill. Many people say I have good leadership skill, but that is not enough. Showcase what did you do to back up that leadership skill, and you don't have to just talk. You need to reflect that in the resume. Good leadership skill: have chaired the this event in my school, or got this award, got this certification. Because CV has those words have no value if you don't have the data and the facts to back up this. That is one thing missing. Third, always do grammar check. Fourth, make the CV schemable, like somebody can scheme through in 30 seconds, right? Use keywords, right? Great communication skill, or work on the software. So have keywords which can attract the attention. And even nowadays we are driven by software. Softwares can also pick up those resume at a faster pace if you have the keywords, the trigger words, right? Like fintech, good in automation, design thinking, these kind of things. Of course, you need to invest time to learn that, but then use those keywords in the resume. And finally, how to stepwise develop. As I said, because you need to reflect that in the resume, you also need to develop those skill set. Participate in the extracurricular activities, form the groups, make your social media profile and the brand. Try to create community on maybe even Facebook. It's not only for the friends. You can also develop career and skill set there, right? And if you develop maybe group of 5,000, 10,000 people and exchanging the views, it can show a leadership skill set. So develop those skill set. Launch some discussion forum for accounting and finance topics. Develop some kind of data science skill. Learn maybe something beyond your course book. Because if you see that market is picking up for the artificial intelligence or some probability based or mathematics based jobs, so start to read the books and have the discussion on that with people, and you can reflect those things on resume as well. So these are the stepwise process to develop a skill, and also start to connect to people outside. Participate in the debate and discussion so that you can improve your communication skill set. Understand the psychology. These things often in our culture we don't give much emphasis. When we are graduating, we think that technical knowledge is everything, but that's not the full story. We need to understand the psychology. When people are looking at you in the eyes, it generates more confidence. So develop those kind of interpersonal skill set. How to talk to people while looking in their eyes, right? How to be specific. So these things will take time, 4 or 5 years, and you need to start from the year 1 of college.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for all the answers from your side. Over to Asha, sir.
Thank you very much, resourceful person Nitish Singh sir, for answering the question of the participants. Dear respected participants, the feedback link, now we will be updating the chat box as well as to your registered mail IDs, which will be active for next 48 hours. Kindly fill the same and send back for e-certificates. The e-certificate will reach you from 7 to 10 days. Here is an announcement, dear participants. On 19th of December, we are organizing our 23rd international webinar as part of our Evening Degree College. So we are hosting international webinar on the topic Anti-Caste Politics and Environmental Justice, Chapter 4. By 4:45 p.m. Indian Standard Time. So now I do request our beloved HOD sir, Rajat BS, Department of Commerce, to render the vote of thanks. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Asha sir. It's my proud privilege to propose a vote of thanks on behalf of Seshadripuram Evening Degree College on this occasion. At the outset, I thank Association of Chartered Certified Accountants UK and International Skill Development Corporation for associating with us to conduct this international webinar. I would like to express our sincere thanks to Nidish Singh, Vice President and Head of Transformation, JP Morgan Chase and Company, for giving an excellent talk on the theme. Thank you, sir, for your valuable words. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure. Some great questions, and I hope it helped you. And in any case, if you have any other questions, you can reach out to me on LinkedIn and of course the social media. And not only me, there are thousands of such people who can help. So always remember the power of social media, connection, and the soft skills.
Sure,
so wish you all the best, everyone.
Thank you. My special thanks to our beloved young and energetic principal, Professor N.S. Satish, sir, who is a robust of our Seshadripuram Indian Degree College. Thank you, sir. I would like to thank Sunil Kumar ji, Coordinator, IQSC, who have helped us to materialize this webinar. I express our gratitude to all the principals, faculty members of our sister institutions and other colleges, academicians, research scholars, students, and delegates across the globe for participating in this webinar. I will ever remain grateful to our teaching and administrative staff for this support. Thank you, one and all. Thank you.
Thank you, Rajat sir. Once again, I thank each and everyone. Now we will conclude the webinar. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, sir.
Good luck. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Nitish sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, everyone. We are concluding the meeting.